Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2024 IFBB Pro League Mexico Grand Battle Pro Bikini results. Beautiful athletes. It's getting so close to the end of the qualification period, and wow, everybody's looking so good. Now, in terms of Olympia, last year's top three automatically qualified, and then the winner of every open division contest within the period will also get to qualify. So looking at the scorecard, in first place, Raina, second, Tiana, third, Kiki, fourth, Ellie, and fifth, Lizzy, with very even scoring throughout. And now here's Lizzy in fifth place. She always looks so beautiful. It looks effortless. She's light as a cloud with just this tiny little pointed toe on the floor. She looks just beautiful. She's got a great silhouette, gorgeous outlining of the quad. I particularly like the detail she has in her hip here. Her oblique looks really great. Nice width into the delts and lats. I think she's got really pretty ratios. Her hourglass is very easy to see with the width of the delt, the tiny waistline, and the width of the glute. She's got really beautiful skin tone. I think her suit and her hair and her makeup, like everything about her is just it just looks so easy and effortless. I think she could have a little bit more size into the glute, like right by the suit, right up in this part. She's got a really beautiful amount of curve with the conditioning. You see this line here, but I'd love if there was just a little bit more size and density into the top of the glute. And then I know she's quite tall, but I wouldn't mind also if she could get a little bit more roundness into the back quad. I feel like this front quad looks really good the way she's posing, but the back one is a little bit more straight. So if she could get a little bit more of a curve, a little bit more height, I think she would be just unstoppable. All right, next in fourth is Ellie. She looks so good. I love the color of her suit, and she looks really muscular, particularly in her lower body. The size in her legs is crazy. Great curve and fullness into the sweep of the quad in that back leg. The front leg looks really wide and just dense with muscle. She's got very large glutes and crazy hamstrings. I love how you really see it popping out of the back of her leg. Looks awesome. She's got nice definition into the quad, that groove in her hip. Her abs are a perfect, super flat, nice definition into the front of the stomach. The oblique looks really straight and sharp. She also has that really nice triangular shape into the upper body. Very full, wide shoulders and lats, and then the very narrow waistline. I do feel though that she could have had a little bit more detail coming through onto the shoulders. Like her conditioning below is fabulous. I really like how clear this line is outlining the quad. I just wish that the line outlining the shoulders and maybe just a little bit more definition into the arms would be spectacular. That's really it. I think she looks fantastic. Great size, great width, and her back pose is particularly good. So I think this was an awesome fourth for her. Okay, next and third is Kiki in the beautiful red suit. Amazing. She is such great conditioning in the upper body. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Really nice lines into the muscles of the arms. Her delts look great. Though I do think this back delt she could play around. Clearly she's not quite in her pose yet, but just make sure to maintain the curve and fullness into the back arm. I can tell she's quite lean, and it's looking a little bit more sharp, whereas this front delt looks so round and full and curvy. Beautiful. She's got a super impressive lat, really nice midsection, so you definitely notice that S curve into her back. And wow, really, really nice connection between the bottom of the glute and the hamstring. It looks so good. She's got really nice conditioning, very good line outlining the quad, though I do think she could have more size into the quads themselves. I think she could have more roundness into the legs, perhaps play around with the placement of this foot just to make sure that this maintains more of a rounded shape rather than a straight line. And while I really like her glute on the bottom here, I also think she could have a little bit more size. Just kind of like, okay, if you follow this beautiful line that she has in her conditioning that really outlines the glute from the side, it kind of comes right to about here. And I feel like I would like to see the glute start even before that line. So if the glute could start closer to her suit and be rounded up in here, rather than most of the roundness being kind of below this little dip. Anyway, I'm being so particular. I think she looks amazing. Third place in this show is super impressive. She's got great conditioning, beautiful posing, and just overall, she did fantastic. All right, next in second place is Tiana. Does she ever look pretty and just like such ease? She's barely looking like there's any effort required at all. It's just a beautiful, elegant, simple, soft kind of posing, and she looks gorgeous. Her conditioning is beautiful around the quads. I love this teardrop you're getting by the kneecap, and she's posing her legs differently than the other girls. I think there's less of a bend to the knee. It's more of a gentle angle. You really notice the curve of the leg in the quad here in the back. It looks just beautiful. She's got a really nice shape to her glute, nice curve to the hamstrings, beautiful tiny waistline with great detail into the abs, and that nice triangular shape into the upper body. And I think she's posing really well in the back arm too to maintain a nice curve into the back delt. So I think she's just really got a great overall look. Very, like I said, very just easy. Like she's just floating gracefully across the stage. I like the dark long hair, but I would do a brighter lip. I find that she's a little lost in all of this darkness, the dark eyes, the dark brows, the dark hair. I would really play up her beautiful smile with a brighter lipstick, and I feel like her upper body could have a little bit more of that glossy sheen that you're seeing in the lower body. Perhaps it's just the lighting and the way it's being picked up in the photo, but to me her upper body looks more matte and her lower body looks more glowy and shiny, and really those muscles are popping. So I would just play around with that tan and the gloss and make sure that the upper body has just as much pop as the lower. But I think she looks really beautiful. And now in first place is Raina. Wow, those legs and those glutes are crazy good. She's so round in the shape of her glute. It's kind of what I've been commenting on almost all of the other athletes, is just that curve beginning right at the top of her suit. The strap goes immediately into curve. And then she's got that amazing dip where the glute and the hamstring come together, and then her hamstrings are crazy. So she's got such amazing size and great shape. Then I notice the shape of the quad sweep in the back leg, that beautiful size, nice definition too. So there's that detail coming through in the back, the line down the quad. Her hamstrings look so good. Her waist is extremely small, really nice oblique. I wouldn't mind if she had a little bit more of like the six-pack lines showing through, but she doesn't need them. She's so impressive in the size of her waist, just such a tiny midsection. And then a nice amount of width into her delts and lats. It's not that crazy huge open wide shape, but it's still a really nice balance with her glute and a nice overall S curvy hourglass shape. The suit is very pretty. I like the bold lip. I think her posing looks beautiful, and wow, she's super good. All right, so there was no lineup photo, so I've just compiled everyone together. I think you can just see the size and that curve on Raina's glutes really shines. I don't think anybody quite has the same degree of density and the curve. And then her legs even are really stand out. The amount of size in her quads and that beautiful definition is gorgeous. I think Ellie has a similar amount of size into the legs, but she doesn't quite have as much curve into the glute like we see on Raina, and nobody has such a tiny and long midsection like she does. It's very, very noticeable. I think Tiana has some beautiful outlining of her quads. I really, really like this teardrop by her knee. Kiki, her shoulders stand out to me. I love the definition. I love her width in the lat. I think she really achieves that hourglass, the triangle shape. Lizzy, I think, is so beautiful. She's got great size, really nice overall lines, but just a little bit more curve to fill out some of those shapes a bit more. I think it was a clear, good win for Raina. And then in the back pose, you can see Raina's not quite there yet, but even with her hands not quite in position, you can see she's got a really nice balance between the width of her shoulders and the width of her glutes. And man, does she have some good outlining into those glute ham tie-ins. She's got an extremely tiny waist, and you just see glute and delt. That's all you see. It's crazy. Ellie, I'm super impressed by the width that she has into the glutes. I think it's a very nice amount of size, though she could have had a tiny bit more detail coming onto the sides of the tie-ins. Tiana, really fantastic detail. I think her conditioning looks great. Really nice hourglass with the small waistline. Maybe she could try to get a bit more fullness into this lowest part where the glute tie-in really comes to a point. I feel like that could be a little bit more just pumped up in 3D and really widened like you see with Raina. Kiki, beautiful size in the glutes. Again, I think she could have had a little bit more definition coming onto the sides right down here. And Lizzy, great outlining, beautiful detail down into the hamstrings. I think she's got nice small waist with really great delts too. It's overall a really lovely shape. But I think Raina kind of nailed it with the definition being so sharp, her waist being so small, and really popped delts. I love that you see nothing but delt and then hair and glute. It looks so good. Speaking of hair, I felt that Ellie and Tiana could have had just a little bit less. It's not quite obstructing the glute, but I wanted to see a tiny bit more of the waistline and maybe even just a little bit more of their lower back. Like what you're seeing with Raina. It's just a tiny bit, but it's there and it looks good. And of course, in terms of Olympia, Raina was already qualified. So that's it for this show. I have more recaps coming your way, and it is the final weekend to qualify for the 2024 Olympia. So make sure you subscribe, give me a like if you like this video, comment your thoughts below, and come find me. I'm on Instagram at turquoise toffee.